gosh, where's my belly? I'm self-conscious. Hi, I'm self-conscious. I hope everyone's doing well and not going completely
stir crazy.
Because I might be.
You're doing okay.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Goodness. Nothing's really been going on.
School's done.
Well, yeah.
School was done last Friday.
Yep.
Which is good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
The adults, the teachers still have a couple things next week, but kids are done.
Yep.
So we officially have a third grader. That's scary.
Yeah, it is. It's something.
For those of you who don't know how Oklahoma City schools work, and I guess statewide schools work, third grade is a big year. It's
what's called RSA, which is what's RSA stand for? Reading
Sufficiency Act.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty much a test that they have to take
and pass. I'm not worried about that with Hadassah, but it's a big year. Third grade's a big year.
Yeah, she already knows about the test, and she's already flipping out about it.
She's concerned. She's a perfectionist, for those of you who don't know. So she wants to do well.
She's that from you.
She is yeah, we are officially on summer break. Not that there's anything to go do.
Yeah,
but
our plans include
pretty much what we've been doing now.
Yeah, staying home.
Not the summer I wanted to have, but I'm grateful to be able to have it, yeah.
I do want to say a special thank you to Cox Communications. Last night, our internet went out for over 12 hours, which meant we had, of course, no internet, no TV at all in the whole house. I guess that's one of the drawbacks of cutting the cord. Is we had nothing, and we actually sat down as a family and watched some actual videos. We haven't sat down and done in a very long time, and it was fun. We got to introduce Hadassah to Shira, and she loves Shira. The original Shira, not the new Shira. I haven't seen the new Shira, so I know nothing about the new Shira. But the 1984-85 Shira, awesomeness.
In other news, guys, I am not going to go on a rant, but just be kind to each other. And seriously, like, I think most of you know what's going on in national news besides COVID-19. But with the racial inequality stuff, just be kind to each other. Realize people are people, and don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution.
Yeah, I think that's been a big thing that we've had some major conversations about. We talk about how I grew up more in like a country setting where white supremacy was more of a thing that you run into on a daily basis. I say that, and then you grew up in the city.
But I grew up in the city, but I grew up in a predominantly mixed neighborhood. I mean, I was, for the most part, the minority. And, I mean, which is fine. That's, I used to use the term colorblind. It taught me to be colorblind. I've realized that that's not necessarily the best term to use. But, I mean, like, I work really hard not to judge people by anything but who they are. By nothing on the outside. I mean, everyone has, and we did a training this year on biases, and everyone has their biases, whether you're aware of them or not. Good training, by the way. One of the best trainings the district has given in a long time. Very, very good training. And everyone has theirs, but just, it's a really cheesy old saying, but we all bleed red. I mean, we're all the same on the inside. It doesn't matter what the outside looks like. So, And again, we have no control over what our outside looks like any more than we have control over our sexual orientation, our gender identity, I mean, any of that. We don't have control over. So, what?
It's just, and I understand and believe what you're saying, but there are people like, well, that's a choice, and folks, it's not. It's not.
Just treat each other kindly and realize everyone has their story of what they've lived through or what has happened to them. So be kind. Don't judge.
And one thing that I want to add that I've seen a lot going on lately is people saying something or pushing something and not getting all the facts about a situation. And I just wanted to sit there and say, get the facts. I mean, I know, for me personally, the president is not my favorite person. He really isn't. But having a full picture of what he's saying and doing is a whole lot better than going on hearsay. So I just encourage everyone to just look at facts. Don't go to trying to think. Don't go to Breitbart and thinking that's a good, solid news source, but at the same time, don't go to Occupy Democrats thinking that's a good news source. Online, there is a really nice graph, and it shows where a lot of well-known newspapers and news stations land, as far as leaning right or leaning left or being in the center, and how the word academic, how academic and how thorough their investigations are. So look at that, understand where the news source is that you're picking information from, and from that point, base your opinion. Don't just copy someone else's opinion and make it your opinion. Really believe what you're saying. And yeah.
And I will say, since she brought up the president, I will say this, and we had a discussion about this, that as far as the racial inequality, I do not blame our president for it, because people are responsible for their own choices. I do believe that him not calling it out has not necessarily encouraged, but allowed people who were doing it in the closet to feel like they have more freedom to do it now than they did before.
What used to be done behind closed doors and stuff is being done a whole lot more out in public. I mean, just in the last... we had to go pick up some... I had to go. I went in. Lori stayed in the car. Had to go into a grocery store, pick up some stuff, and I heard a woman just go on a insane rant about wearing a mask. And she was blaming all sorts of other, groups for this happening. I'm like, and, the employees at the supermarket were doing their best to calm her down and get her to a place where she could continue shopping and stuff. And the thing is, here's the thing with the shopping thing, is I had my mask on, and probably 85% of people had masks on, which I was like, yay. There was no sign at the door that said you had to wear a mask. There's no sign that said you had to wear gloves. There was really no signs in the building saying you had to stay 6 feet apart. There was a sign saying, hey, remember social distancing. But for whatever reason, this woman seeing everyone wearing a mask made her really, really angry. And I was like,
I think the whole mask thing, honestly, it's a respect thing. It's respecting your fellow people, because mask, my understanding, and I know there's a ton of stuff out there and it's hard to discern everything that's going on. Masks are not going to protect you. They protect others. So if you are carrying it unknowingly, they protect others. And if most people do that, then that will also help stop the spread.
Right.
So I'll be honest, I have not gone in stores and stuff because I don't like wearing a mask. So my choice is, instead of possibly infecting others, to just not go in. And that is my personal choice. Now, if I had to go into a store, then I do have a mask. Thank you, Miss Dees. And I will wear it. And thank you, honey.
I made you a mask.
You did.
It's not the greatest, but I did.
You did. I like it. It's just, I don't like covering my face. I've never have. So it's a personal choice, but when we do start going out at some point, I will learn to like a mask because I will, it protects others. It helps protect myself. So,
right. I mean, the thing is, working in special ed, I can say this is a story that I guess can show how easy stuff happens. Is I work with a student. We're about this far away, which is not
we are not 6 feet away.
We're not 6 feet away. And I was like, hey, helping them do hand over hand or whatever. And they turned and went, hey, what are you doing? And when I said, hey, they went, and sneezed right in my mouth.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Welcome to special ed.
I was like, oh goodness. And it was a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I came home and I was like, hey, I got, students sneezed in my mouth. You're like, ew, gross. And you've said it and I've said it. I sat in my chair and you could watch me over the next, 12 hours, just kind of go to where I woke up the next morning, had a fever. I mean, and it was that quick.
Right. And that doesn't always happen, but it's how it can happen.
But if I was wearing a mask and the student was wearing a mask in that situation, then his sneeze wouldn't have, his sneeze, some water vapor might have gotten out, but the chances of it getting out into is lower. So it's just...
And guys, it's allergy season in Oklahoma, so everyone's going to be sneezing and coughing anyway.
Right, because season, it's revenge of the trees.
Yes. So yeah, that's that. State has officially opened phase 2 today.
Yes.
Of the reopening.
Today is the 15th. This show is going up on the 15th, so...
which I think is like arenas,
bars, clubs, nightclubs. Yeah. All those can reopen.
And I know, for me, because I do believe maybe it's a little too early still. It's a personal opinion. It's not. It's
right.
Makes me a little nervous, but I think one thing that we're all learning through this is there's a lot we don't know. This is a really weird little disease that we don't really understand.
We don't understand a whole lot of things in a lot of diseases. This one is highly contagious, and we don't know whether once you get it, can you get it again?
Right.
Because that would be great to know, because that would mean the people who have had it are good, are safe. At the same time,
we don't know.
And we're not going to risk that.
Right. So if you are going out today or in the next few days because more stuff is open, be careful, guys. I mean, I absolutely believe it's your right to go out. I'm not, but just be careful. Please, we don't want our friends and family to get sick.
That's true.
What else?
What other things?
Hadassah got a prize from the Thunder today for the Thunder Reading Challenge, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's through 4th grade, or I think through third. It's either through 3rd or 4th grade. Might be 3rd grade. I'm not sure.
Next year or last year?
Yeah.
Oh no! She loves
if you have little ones, it's something you can do. It's on the Thunder's website, so that's pretty cool. And she's done it every time they've done it. She's gotten a hat, and this time she got socks.
She got some socks.
She's got a shirt.
She got a big Thunder shirt.
So basically, what you do is you track their minutes for 30 days, and they're supposed to read 20 minutes a day. I will be honest, she did not read she did miss 3 days, but because she read over the 20 minutes the other days, it averaged out.
Yeah.
She likes to sit down and read, so kind of got lucky in that respect. And then you submit it online, and they send them a certificate and a prize of some sort. Like I said, there's been different things. This time it was socks. They're huge.
Yeah, they're ladies size small socks, which means women's size 4 to 7. Which I mean, don't fit you, don't fit me, but they'll be like
huge on Hadassah.
They'll go up to her thigh.
Yep.
And the knee and the heel will be like somewhere in her calf. It'll look weird, but she will love them. She already loves them.
Yep.
I do say give her a big round. That is huge. What did she get? 814 minutes of reading over the last 30 days, which is hugeness. She has. I am so happy that she likes reading.
Yes. She also likes math, science, and she does like social studies when she understands that it's social studies. So she kind of likes all the different subjects. So we're lucky in that respect. And she likes learning, so I'm proud of my baby girl.
What is one thing as a couple did you think over the quarantine that we've gotten better at, that we weren't, well, I'm not saying we're horrible at, but it was like
communication. Because when you're around someone for the amount of time that we've been around each other, it's communicating. Communicating when you're frustrated or you feel overwhelmed or whatever, because both of us are, I know I can be very passive aggressive, and anyone that knows me really well knows that that's a trait that I have that I really am working on. I'm trying to catch myself when I'm doing it and stop and figure out what's going on and why I'm acting that way. Not perfect at it. So I tend to, it's easier to give an example. If, for those of you who know me, I am a perpetual neat freak. Just ask my poor assistants. There is a place for everything, and everything should be in its place. And I am anal retentive about that. Something we've had to work on in our marriage because Rachel is not. And we've reached some compromises. But anyway, I will feel sometimes like I'm doing all the work, and it's not even big things, guys. It's little things like Rachel will leave her towel somewhere from after the shower instead of hanging it up. Now, what I should do is just go, hey, honey, would you go hang up your towel? That would be the appropriate response to that. Not make a big deal, but I will get upset. Why didn't she put her towel up? And then I'll go put the towel up, but then I'm angry about having put the towel up because I shouldn't have had to put the towel up. And then Rachel, she doesn't understand why I'm angry because she never saw me put the towel up. And then it builds, and then I'll start screaming at her, why don't you ever put your things away? And she's like, I don't understand what I did.
I don't think that would actually happen. I'm pretty good at putting my towel up sometimes.
But it's a good example of
right.
You can fill in the blank with other stuff.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm not going to say anything, period. I'm just, stuff that gets me a little frustrated or whatever, I'm just not going to say anything. It's not worth it. These are little things. These are little things. And then eventually, one last little thing goes, and this is like, okay, now we're going to go at it.
Yeah.
And I've had to get really good at going, hey, this hurt my feelings, or I don't like this, or, the little things I think are no big deal.
Are a big deal. Guys, we all have feelings. Our feelings get hurt.
I still think they're no big deal.
Well, but they
build up.
Exactly.
And so, working on that. Communication has become very much important. I think communication is what we talk about a lot. Just communicating has been, easily the most important, thing we've had to do through this whole transition. And I will say this, my people talk about my transition. It's in a lot of ways, I understand it is my transition, it is stuff, but in a whole another way, it is our transition. It is a bunch of changes that Lori's had to deal with, and she's been pretty stinking awesome.
It's I've been lucky enough to have a good support group that has helped me help her. Plus, I believe the statement gets me in trouble, but I believe when you marry someone, it should be forever. Now, I know there are exceptions to that. I know there are things that happen and it's not a judgment thing. Just when I said I do, for better or worse, all of that.
You're stuck with me.
And I know not everyone makes it through the process of transition, and that is a very personal and individual thing between those couples. So, and that's not a judgment on anyone.
Right.
It was the way, it was a very important thing to me, and I will discuss that in more detail in another video. That's actually a good thing for another video to bring up.
I'm not distancing out myself. I'm just trying to lean my back up here because
well, we've been babbling for a while.
We have. I do have news.
Okay.
Starting, was it Monday?
Sunday. Well, Monday officially.
Right. So, over on my channel is an unboxing. I'm not going to put my link down. You can find it. You're going to search YouTube and find my video if you want to see it. It's an unboxing video for a scale because I am going on a 90-day, I think.
If you use that D word, I hate that word.
No. It's just a 90-day weight loss adventure. There we go.
There.
It's a weight loss adventure. And they sent me a scale, and my insurance is paying for it, apparently, which, yay, thank you.
Thank you.
And Lori is going to kind of, she's not doing the same thing. But
I might be doing something similar. We'll see what it is.
And then it's been kind of a neat thing, though. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about us getting a normal bedtime.
Or at least a more normal bedtime.
Yes.
Guys, the best thing you can do is help encourage her because I'm too soft. I feel bad. But if you're watching this, encourage her.
On our social medias.
Encourage her because we've been down this road more than once.
Yeah. Well, not on the whole. This is a whole nother level that we've set to here at this point.
But it doesn't tend to stick. So let's try to be encouraging because it doesn't stick with me either. It did when I was pregnant, but there was a high motivation there. Anyway.
Right. I mean, I'll be honest with me. One of the things I have a problem with, and we've talked about this, is with my ADD, I have a problem with knowing what I should do, but not doing it. Like
motivation problem.
Yeah, there's a whole brain thing, and there's a channel that you can go and they'll explain all that wonderful chemistry stuff to you, but it is a brain thing, and I struggle with it greatly, but we are trying to find ways to help with that. So
we have our 7-year-old involved, and she's quite demanding.
Very.
But we will do a video on that. We can just do a video on that next time or something.
Yeah,
so.
maybe, we have time now. I think we said this last summer, too. We have time. We can make videos all the time. And we put out a couple extras for some Pride, which I don't know if we're putting out or not this year.
I think Prides have been moved. I mean, they're going to give dates later, so we will be... I think they're all going to kind of probably be in like 1 week and then the next and the next and the next, so it's going to be an interesting thing.
Yeah, I know one here is in September. So.
And I think Edmond has moved to October.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Edmond was already in October.
Or maybe that one is... No, I think Tulsa's moved to October.
Tulsa's moved to October. I think Norman moved September, October, E2. I'm not sure. So, and I don't know. We're supposed to have 2 here.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Be healthy. Be safe. Be
Be
you.
you.
I can't reach the button. I can't reach the button.